Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In recent news, Jake Lloyd makes a surprising return to the spotlight in an unexpected sort of way. For those of you who don't know who Jake Lloyd is somehow, or you're just a recently converted fan to Star Wars, or you're just someone that came across news about Jake Lloyd and just don't really know the significance of his importance, Jake Lloyd was the actor who played young Anakin in The Phantom Menace. And for those of us who've been a part of the fandom for a long time, I think many of us know the horror story that comes along with Jake. The tragic tale of a young actor whose only crime was getting the role of a lifetime. And because of individuals who could not control their anger and couldn't separate fantasy from reality, Jake was bullied and harassed and ridiculed, so much so that he suffered mental health issues and even run-ins with the law, apparently due to his mental health issues, and allegedly had renounced Star Wars as a whole, had come to despise Star Wars because of what it led him to suffer through. Needless to say, his acting career was destroyed. And for most of the history revolving around Jake, he's virtually either remained out of the spotlight or we've had to hear the tragic tales of mental breaks that he's had that have been tragic to hear about. Well, recently, Jake Lloyd's mother has come forward to talk about her son's mental state and his current perspective on Star Wars as a whole. And today I'd like to share with you what was said. Links to the article will be down below in the description. The Phantom Menace's Jake Lloyd still loves Star Wars. Watched Ahsoka. The actor's mother opened up about her son who has avoided the spotlight in recent years. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace star Jake Lloyd who played a young Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy, still enjoys watching the franchise and recently caught up with Ahsoka on Disney+, according to his mother. Speaking with Clayton Sandel for Scripps News, Lloyd's mother, Lisa, discussed how her son has been doing in recent years. Lloyd left the public spotlight over a decade ago and has reportedly struggled with his mental health for years. His mother confirmed these troubles, but also gave some heartwarming and positive updates to the fans who were worried for the child actor. He loves all the new Star Wars stuff. People think Jake hates Star Wars, but he loves it. She went on to detail how her son watched Ahsoka in Disney Plus recently and received an action figure of Rosario Dawson's Jedi Knight for his birthday earlier this month. Jake Lloyd is currently 10 months through an 18-month inpatient hospitalization stay. His mother Lisa discusses his mental health struggle in a new interview with Clayton Sandel. We wish Jake and his family all the best with his recovery. The Force is with him always. A major element of the discussion of Jake Lloyd in recent years has been his relationship with the iconic space franchise. In the past, he had previously given interviews detailing how he was bullied because of his role as Anakin. His mother quelled any notion that Star Wars or the negative reviews and vitriol directed at him in 1999 had anything to do with his mental health struggles. I protected him from the backlash, Lisa said. He didn't know, he didn't care. Everybody makes such a big deal about that. And it's rather annoying to me because Jake was a little kid when that came out. And he didn't really feel all that stuff because I didn't let him online. And that's really all the significance to that particular article. But what I did find interesting is that his mother expressed that his mental health issues had nothing to do with the bullying that he did suffer from. And there's probably some commentary that can be said there about what I stated earlier in this video, where I explained the horror story that revolved around Jake Lloyd's mental health issues. The idea that the online abuse he suffered from led to his mental health break. Which turns out to not be the case, at least by what his mother expresses. But that's probably exactly why I chose to call it a horror story. It's an extreme scenario that I think any rational person should be able to universally agree is a scenario that should befall no one. And if you agree with that sentiment, you should be able to agree with everywhere else it should fairly apply, such as the abuse and bullying that Kelly Marie Tran or Daisy Ridley suffered through, the stalking and harassment George Lucas suffered through. Maybe those actions were not specifically what drove them away from their careers, from their social media accounts, or from their passions, but it's undeniable that the abuse was there and did what it was intended for, to satisfy these pathetic urges to get revenge for something that these people thought they, at the time, did not like, or maybe even still do think that they don't like, or know that they don't like. I'm not going to discount the possibility that they genuinely believe that the works these people were involved in were bad. How you choose to react to it is still important. And reacting with such hostility over fiction is embarrassing, regardless if it affects anyone or not. This also doesn't mean that the abuse for Jake Lloyd didn't exist. It's just fortunate that his mother protected him from it. It still does not mean any less that people's behavior towards fiction should not be so hostile. But something else that I found surprising to hear was the fact that Jake actually still loved Star Wars. And in fact still loved all of Star Wars, including the new parts of Star Wars. Now, I've never been one to use figureheads to validate my own opinion, because I find it an incredibly shallow perspective. Hoist someone's opinion up only when they validate my opinion, and conveniently ignore those who express a differing opinion than mine. But it is refreshing to hear and kind of get closure, in a way, at least for me, that for someone that had so much hatred directed towards him, none of that interfered with his love for Star Wars, or the franchise, or the fan base. I'm really happy to hear that Jake is doing better, and if for any reason this video ever happened across his eyes, if I could say anything to Jake Lloyd on a personal level, it would be that I am sorry that you had any kind of negativity thrown your way because of the embarrassing actions of certain people who couldn't control themselves or conduct themselves in a mature and an adult manner. And I want you to know that you were always good enough. Lucas wanted a child actor to play a spirited young man, and you played that character to the absolute letter. You should be very proud of the opportunity that you were given and the work that you put in for your character. If I could hope for anything in the future, I would personally love it to see Jake Lloyd return to the big screen or the silver screen in Star Wars in some way, shape, or form. If there is anything that I think Lucasfilms, that current era Lucasfilm should be credited for, it is their effort to give people second chances. Seeing Ahmed Best come back to the screen as a Jedi and play an amazing surprise role had me choked up. I literally stood up and cheered seeing him on the screen. My family watching, who aren't as invested in Star Wars as I am, were completely confused as to why I was freaking out. And I was almost in tears seeing Ahmed Best in this amazing role that he was acting his heart out in. And I would personally love to see Jake Lloyd given a similar opportunity. But I also understand that whatever he's currently going through needs to take priority. We've seen the effects of mental health issues with other actors and their careers, and it needs to be prioritized over my or anyone's personal need for entertainment. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you'll give that article a look and hopefully consider some of the things I've had to say. And I hope to see you in the next video. See you. Bye.